Hello, everybody, and welcome into Cam's World. Today, we will be breaking down the WNBA. I've never really sat down and done a podcast kind of style video, so this is something new for me. I'm very excited to get into this, though. I love breaking down games and going over stats, and I really want to hyperfixate on the WNBA. If you're not tuning into the WNBA, you definitely should. I just bought WNBA League Pass. Shout out the student discount, 40% off. Go get it right now. Tune in. There's games tomorrow. There's games day after. This is good content, y'all. So if you're watching the NBA playoffs, tune into the WNBA. It is worth your time. I will guarantee it. Since this is my first video intro, I kind of had to do a little bit of something just to set the scene for you guys. But I'm not big in the whole intro thing, so I'd rather just hop right into the content. There's gonna be gameplay, memes, lots of stuff going on, probably overstimulating for some people, but that's how I operate, that's how I edit. So I hope you guys like and enjoy this video. Drop a like, subscribe, all the basic things, and let's get into the games. First game we will be breaking down is the season opener, the Connecticut Sun versus the New York Liberty. The Sun got absolutely obliterated, 75-106. So I personally think after watching both of the Sun's games, I think the Sun right now are the worst WNBA team in the league. They are without Aaliyah Edwards. That's a big loss. I think when they get her back, they'll be a lot better. They'll be able to compete in some of these games. They stick in it, but they fade. But that's not without saying Connecticut did have a couple bright spots. I will give them that. Diamond Miller, Anissa Morrow, and Brittany Griner. Big three for them. They all performed quite well, shot efficiently. And I would also like to throw in Haley Van Lith off the bench. She provided a big spark for them. I honestly was a little shocked to see Haley Van Lith get let go by the Sky, but their roster, they're rebuilding. They're trying to do different things in Chicago. Angel Reese era ended. They got to start somewhere. So a lot of those pieces are part of that team. They're getting split up and broken up, just like my Bucks are probably going to get eventually. Haley Van Lith is one of the core pieces there, and she found a new home in Connecticut, and it's looking like it's working out. So shout out HVL. She provided 9 points for them, shot 4 of 7, 1 of 2 from 3. Her plus or minus was -7. For anyone who doesn't know what plus or minus is, I'm just going to give a quick little breakdown. So plus or minus in basketball pretty much just, it measures a player's impact or their tangibles kind of thing. So while that player, let's say Haley Van Lith is on the court, if she had a positive number, which unfortunately, her team is getting blown out, so it's not really her fault. But if her number was +7, that would mean that her team was outscoring the opponent while she was on the court by that many points. So her impact overall, throughout the game, she was making a positive impact while she was playing. Her minus numbers were better than pretty much all of her team. So, while she was out there was the most production for the Sun. So I would say Gianna Nepkins off the bench, they didn't play very many minutes, but when they were out there, they were making impacts. Look at Gianna Nepkins' numbers. She had 5 rebounds. She also got her ankles absolutely broken. Oh my God, welcome to the WNBA. Sheesh. Holy. Yeah, the Connecticut Sun, they got a lot of work to do. They didn't shoot very efficiently. They shot 4 of 22 from behind the arc, 18%. They went 7 of 15, 47%. From free throw, they're leaving a lot of points out there in these games. And you can't do that if you want to compete against a team like the Liberty. They're going to pick you apart, and they definitely broke down the Sun. I would go out and say Anissa Morrow might be somebody that people should tap into a little bit more. She's extremely talented, and I think she's going to have a great season this year. And then Brittany Griner, Brittany Griner is always good. 13 points, she gets 6 boards, 6 of 11. She's huge. That's definitely going to be pretty easy for her when she's around the basket, get a little layup in. So shout out to them. They still got destroyed though. Aaliyah Edwards needs to come back for the Sun to be efficient and, bring things together. It'll definitely help, because I also want to say Sanaya Rivers does not need to be in the starting lineup, but we'll touch on that later. Now we're going to go over the New York Liberty. They had a great performance to come out and start the season. They showed no rust. Breanna Stewie, she picked up right where she left off in Unrivaled after winning that championship. Put up 31, 10 and 17. Did not make a single three, but that's not like Stewie. She'll come around to that. She got to the line pretty efficiently, going 11 for 12. She gets fouled quite often. She's always hitting that spin move, putting people in a blender constantly. She picked up 10 boards. All around, she had a great night. Plus 21. Jonquel Jones, she's always going to give you pretty good numbers, 10 and 5, solid. Lainey Hamilton, that's a new pickup for them. She put up really good minutes for her. Usually she's more of an intangible kind of person. Like, she goes out there, she puts up numbers that you don't really see in the box score, but she stepped up. She put up 12 points. That's solid. And then, guys, come on. If you've seen any clips from the WNBA, you definitely have seen Johannes. Oh my God, she's lighting it up from behind the arc. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill in Ionescu, and she's filling the part perfectly. Last point to touch on is bench production overall for the Liberty was just very good. Julie Van Loo almost had a triple-double. I mean, she's stepping up. She came from the Sparks, I believe, and plus 31 off the bench. That's impressive. And then Rebecca Gardner and Hanju, they both played really well, so they stepped up big time in this game. The next game that we'll be covering is the Washington Mystics against the Toronto Tempo. The Mystics won 68-65. Tempo are a new team, new arena, home game for them, but unfortunately they were not able to give their new fans a W. You know what? I am very, very shocked that Drake was not here sitting courtside. Could have been a little album rollout opportunity, Iceman on the way, Toronto Tempo, WNBA connection, but he didn't want to do that. No courtside appearance for Drake. He could have, had Kevin Hart fly out, mess with the drink a little bit, do something, boost the morale of the audience a little bit, even more than it was. Shout out to Toronto Tempo. They filled the arena. Looks like fans are very invested, and I love to see that for the WNBA. Now, I actually watched this game front to back. I watched every single minute of this game, and I really was not impressed with the rookies. I think rookie jitters were a big issue in this game. Cassandra Prosper started for the Mystic. Very good on her. Shout out her. 19 minutes, but not impactful minutes. Angela Dugalich, Lauren Betts, Rory Harmon, all rookies, all did not play well. And flip side, Tioni Key and Kiki Rice all also put up zeros. The only person to score out of 6 rookies were Cassandra Prosper and Dugalich. They both had 2. Otherwise, everybody put up donuts. Donuts to go around. Looks like the Simpsons in here. Maybe, when cops sit next to each other, like parallel to each other, where one's like facing one way, one's facing the other, but they're both talking to each other in the window. That's the type of donut exchange that was going on between the rookies. Overall, there was absolutely no bench production from the Mystics. They were minus in the plus or minus, like all of them. And then the Tempo, they had some bench production, but it was also pretty minuscule. I would like to point out that the Tempo overall, they shot like 20% from the field. Not good. You're not going to win games doing that. Brittany Sykes and Marina Mabry, 2 people to point out for the Tempo. They shot at a high volume. Mabry got to the line a lot. She shot 14 free throws. So, the WNBA, they signed some rules. They're blowing their whistles a little bit more. They're getting to the line. But that's good for the Tempo. That's a good sign for them. Sykes did not shoot very efficiently. She shot 4 of 18. Mabry also put up 18 shots, but she made 6. 27 points on that for Mabry. They're getting shots up at a high volume, but the rest of the team just did not. They didn't do anything. Those were really the 2 main people. Naira Sabley, she had 8 points. She did have a breakaway steal and a couple rebounds. She had pretty impactful minutes, but overall, I feel like I was a little bit let down by the Toronto Tempo. I don't know what expectations I had going into it. They are an expansion team. They got to learn to play together. But Mabry and Sykes holding that together. Hopefully they improve over time. I think they need to clean up some things. Kiki Rice got to make layups. Those were huge misses that she had. Overall, I like the Tempo. I think that they have potential, but I would put them along the lines of the Sun currently. They got a lot of ground to make up. Now, on the flip side, the Mystics, they didn't look great in this game. The bench played horribly. Like, they genuinely didn't do anything. I'm just going to reiterate it again. They did nothing. But overall, the rest of the team, starting core, incredible. I think the Mystics genuinely could be a dark horse potential for playoffs. Honestly, I don't know how you stop their 2 best players. No, I'm not even going to say 2, 3 best players. Sonia Citron, second-year all-star player, put up 26. She went 9 of 12, shot very efficiently. Shakira Austin, Kiki Irifen, I don't know how you stop them. Austin looked dominant. She was bullying everybody in the paint. Irifen getting so many rebounds. She had 16 boards. Austin had 11. I just don't know how you combat that. What do you even put against her? And when Irifen, she closes out, like, I'm going to play this clip. Watch what she does in the paint. She closes off. She seals off. She goes up against the board. She's definitely one of the best rebounders in the WNBA right now. And I would say Mystics, they could be must-watch TV. Their rookie core is only going to get better. It was their first game. All these players, rookie jitters, it's going to shake off. I wouldn't be too worried about the Mystics. I think that they play great basketball. I'm excited to watch what they do. We're moving on to the third game, the Valkyries against the Storm. The Valkyries, they won 91-80. Now, I have a little beef with the Storm. You know, they got some stuff going on with Lexi Brown and the whole Megan Thee Stallion and stuff, so I'm not complaining about this loss. But shout out Dom Malonga and Flau'jae Johnson. They were cooking. Game 1, Flau'jae 12 points. I mean, she didn't shoot the greatest, but she was making big time plays. She literally started the game splashing a 3. Instantly, off tip, passed the ball to her, fling, splash, whatever. Play the Chris moves. Should pull out the auto-tune for this. Such a great performance from her and Dom Malonga. Dom Malonga, she really impressed me in Unrivaled, and I was excited. I picked her in fantasy. I think that she's got a lot of potential, and she showed it as advertised. Put up 21, 8 of 15, 8 boards. That's what you're going to get from Dom Malonga. Obviously, she's going to have off nights, but I think consistently she's going to grow to be one of the better players. Flau'jae, same thing. Going against the Valkyries, who, for whatever reason, they literally drafted her, I think, 8th, and they just traded her for Marta Suarez, who they released. Why would you do that? The Valkyries are already extremely talented, and I would like to say I think the Valkyries are the best. I'm not going to say the best team. They're one of the best teams. I would say top 3. Definitely top 3 for the Valkyries after the first 2 games, but we'll get more into that later. So the Storm are lucky. They're lucking out here. Flau'jae 12 points, 3 of 12. Didn't shoot that good, but she had a good performance. I would like to say Lexi Brown, horrible night. That's that Megan Thee Stallion treatment for you. Boom. Take that. 0 points, 4 turnovers. Yikes. I'm gonna put up the pictures that I took of, you know, your little homewrecker relationship that you had with Klay Thompson. I'm gonna put up the pictures that I had of him in 2K. I went out, bullied Klay Thompson. So this is your man right here. Yeah, bad night, minus 19 when the rest of your team honestly played solid. Very disappointing, Lexi Brown. But then you got huge bench production from Zia Cook and Jade Melvin. Zia Cook put up 15. She went 2 of 3. She was hitting threes to begin the game. She was looking good. Faded a little bit at the end of the game. She had some breakaways towards the end that, you know, she had a good performance overall. And then Jade Melvin, I feel like she could honestly move up into the starting lineup. And I don't know if Lexi Brown can figure it out. Zia Cook starts hitting shots again, and Jade Melvin puts things together consistently. They might just be a good rotation to have as a second unit. Jade Melvin really could replace Jordan Horston in that starting 5. Something to watch for sure. And then moving on to the Valkyries, Kayla Thornton has been tremendous from the 3-point line. She has stepped up to a whole nother level. This Valkyries team really seems like they're putting things together. Great minutes from Gabby Williams in that game. A little bit of an off-shooting night for her, but it was her opening game with the Valkyries coming off a free agency signing. So I think, you know, she'll put things together overall. But good minutes from her. Veronica Burton, most improved player last year. She's looking the part. VB is tremendous right now. 16 points from her, 5 of 13, 2 of 4 from 3. But honestly, the starting 5 wasn't even going to be my main point for this game. We got to shout out Janelle Salon. She went 7 of 16, 5 of 11 from 3. She was lighting it up off the bench. She had to fill in for Tiffany Hayes, who did get injured. So very, very good minutes from her. And then Kalia Charles also played quite well. Caitlin Chen, 5 of 10, 2 of 3 from 3. She stepped up. I think the Valkyries dropped her last season, released her. She came back, joined the team, been playing really good. So good on Caitlin Chen. Janelle Salon, sorry to watch for sure. Great minutes overall from the Valkyries. They're putting things together, and this was a good game. I really like what I see from the Valkyries. I think they could be contenders this year. The next game that we will be covering is probably the best game this weekend, which was the Dallas Wings against the Indiana Fever. Dallas Wings won 107-104. I'm going to start off talking about the Dallas Wings. Their starters look spectacular. You had great production from Jessica Shepard. She almost had a triple-double. She went 13, 9, and 9. Odyssey Sims looked incredible in her comeback game against her former team. She had 20 points, 8 of 11, 2 of 3 from 3-point range. She filled up the stat sheet, picked Caitlin Clark's pocket, went for an easy layup on the other end, hit some good shots down the stretch. Odyssey Sims with a really breakout game for her. Arika Ogunbowale, you already know what we're going to get with her. As advertised, Paige Beckers, 20 points. She was super efficient in the first half. I think she shot 100% in the first half. Overall, great game from the Wings. Another point to add, they had big bench production from Maddie Segrist and Isaiah James, big addition to their team. She went 3 of 5, 3 of 3 from 3-point range. She hit a big 3 down the stretch. So good minutes from them. Dallas Wings looking spectacular. The Indiana Fever also looked good. I will say they did not shoot well from 3-point range at all. Kelsey Mitchell went 2 of 9. Caitlin Clark went 2 of 9. And I think that that's the deciding factor here in that game. If they hit threes, if they make shots, they win. Not much defense from either team. Kelsey Mitchell put up 30. Caitlin Clark still put up 20, but it just wasn't enough. Aaliyah Boston also had 23. She shot super efficiently and hit a 3. I think that's something that she's adding to her game. Raven Johnson, rookie out of South Carolina, she had 4 points and got a steal. I watched one Fever preseason game and she had like 5 or 6 steals, so I think that's going to be a consistent thing from her. She obviously plays incredible defense. That's why she got drafted so high. So I'm looking forward to watching Raven Johnson get some more minutes here. Overall, this has to be the best game of the weekend. We're moving on to the next game, the Mercury against the Aces. The Phoenix Mercury with an incredible performance. They won by 33 points, 99-66. Becky Hammond and the Aces at home got absolutely obliterated. Alyssa Thomas putting up almost another triple-double. She does that consistently. I think she has the most triple-doubles in the WNBA, like WNBA history. She's got like 17 or something. And I'm sure she's got a few more this year. Alyssa Thomas isn't the only vet on that team. They got DeWanna Bonner, 14-year veteran. She went 3 of 4 from three-point range. She was lighting it up from behind the arc. Selling on them, doing a little, I don't even know, but she hit something. I'll put it up on the screen. Doing the Terrell Owens on their half-court logo pretty much. I don't believe anybody thought Giovanna Nogic was going to play as well as she did. She went 4 or 5 from three-point range. Hot hand tonight, 19 points. She single-handedly separated the Mercury in the first half from the Aces, and the Aces just could not come back after that point. Dominant effort from the Mercury starters. They also had a little bit of bench production from Brochant and Kiana Williams. Both were +9. Brochant with 8 points and Kiana Williams with 11 off the bench. The Phoenix Mercury had to do this. I'm glad they came out and played a statement game here. They got swept in the finals by the Aces, and they took them down. They picked them apart this game. They shot efficiently, 49% from field goal, 46 from three-point range, 80% from the free throw line. That's efficient. So it's going to at least make it a close game when you play a top team like the Aces. Now, speaking of the Aces, Asia Wilson with 19, Jackie Young with 12. They look good. Chelsea Gray, she only had 4 points. Coming off of Unrivaled, she had such a stellar season there. She was looking, I thought she might have dropped 40 with the way that she was playing in Unrivaled, but she only came on and put up 4. They got some rust to knock off. It was ring night. I just don't think that they were fully in it for this game. And they definitely came out with more vengeance in the second game. And, I see what the Aces are doing. They're not slick. They wanted to give Blona, to give Kennedy Carter some more minutes to get her going. Because, yeah, she got going. She might be most improved this year. Put up 10, 5 and 8. I think she literally told somebody to go F themselves in the crowd. Might have to put that clip up there, too. It was really funny. She got going, and if she can play and provide good minutes off the bench, they're already going to be good this year. So if they get good minutes off the bench, they'll be even harder to stop. Phoenix Mercury, also, they won the turnover battle. They only had 7 turnovers to the Aces 17. You're not going to win games doing that. Great performance from the Mercury. Kalia Copper, I think she needs to shoot a little bit better. She's putting up a lot, but she went 0 for 5 from three-point range. You can't be doing that. Kalia Copper, also another great season in Unrivaled. I hope that she figures it out. 13 points is solid, but shooting 16 times, only getting to the free throw line once. There's some room for improvement there, but young player, let's see how she develops. Next game that we'll be moving on to is the Atlanta Dream versus the Lynx. One of the more exciting teams for me to watch this year is going to be the Atlanta Dream. I think they have potential to be one of the best teams in the league. I don't know if they really showed it in this game. The Lynx are a tough opponent. The Dream, they fought from behind for the whole game. They missed a lot of opportunities, especially from three-point range. They only went 7 of 29, shot 24%. Alicia Gray went 1 for 8, leaving a lot of points out there. They had to claw their way back into this game. Naz Hillman, huge impact late, big 3 down the stretch. Angel Reese, game-sealing block. Same with Alicia Gray. Reen Howard shot efficiently. Jordan Canada played well. Overall, their starting 5 looked pretty solid. Angel Reese with a double-double. She's going to get that. Alicia Gray, 24. She went 7 of 18. I told you guys she had poor three-point outing, but I don't think that's going to be a consistent thing. The Dream, they missed a lot of opportunities, but they look good tonight. Medina Oka, rookie out of Nigeria, off the bench. She had 8 points. Pow Pow hit the game-winning shot, so she also had 6. I think that their team's going to put it together. They're missing Breonna Jones, who's one of their best players. They'll be fine. The Dream, they missed some opportunities, left some stuff out there, but they fought in the game. They came back, and I was very impressed with the Dream. The Lynx, I was also quite impressed with. Kayla McBride, she had 20. That's as advertised for her. I think she's going to put up 20 consistently until Collier is back. Kayla McBride might have one of the fastest releases in the game. She gets those shots up so quick. It's hard to defend that. Some of the shots that Courtney Williams was putting up, I don't know how they were going in, but she was making it work. She went 7 of 18, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Good game from her. Olivia Miles, gotta be one of the best rookies this year. Wizard on the passing end. She was fitting passes in there. I don't even know how she was doing it, but she did it at TCU too. So definitely somebody to watch. She had 21 points.
Another big part of why the Lynx lost this game is because they lost the rebound battle. 46 rebounds for the Dream to the 25 for the Lynx. 19 offensive rebounds for the Dream to 7 for the Lynx. If you let them get that many second chance opportunities, the Dream are going to stay with you, and they did. The Lynx couldn't separate. They allowed them to come back in the second half. You just can't do that. Definitely something that the Lynx should clean up if they want to beat teams like the Dream. The next game we'll be talking about is the Chicago Sky against the Portland Fire, another new expansion team in the Portland Fire. The Sky, they picked them apart. Their starting five looked incredible. The Sky won 98-83. It was a little bit closer in the middle. Eventually, the Sky separated right at the end of the game to kind of, sway the score. But I would say that it was a pretty close game throughout. Skylar Diggins, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. She almost had a triple-double. Rakea Jackson, 19-7. Camila Cordoso, 22-14. JC Sheldon with 13. And the rookie Gabriela Jaquez with 10. All were plus in the plus or minus category. Elizabeth Williams off the bench. She went 4 or 5, 10 points. She was plus 12. I think that the Chicago Sky are another team to watch. They could be potentially a dark horse, even coming after the Angel Reese era. You didn't know what the Sky were going to do. You didn't know if they were going to perform, how that chemistry was going to look after they blew up their team. They look fine. I would not be worried if I was a Sky fan. They allowed the Fire to shoot efficiently. Defense could have gotten cleaned up a little bit, but overall, they look solid. I would not be worried about the Chicago Sky. Portland Fire, they got a lot of work to do. They had good elements from Bridget Carlton, Megan Gustafson off the bench, and Sarah Ashley Barker off the bench. Ashley Barker, she had 13. Gustafson with 10. They both shot well from the three-point line. I think if we're looking at, both expansion teams in the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire, if we put them next to each other on paper, you might look at it and be like, hey, I don't know as many names in the Portland Fire. You got big names like Maybelline Sykes on the Toronto Tempo. But honestly, I would say that right now, I feel like the Fire are a better team than the Tempo. They got way more depth. Big numbers from their bench. The only issue that I have with the Portland Fire is their size. They're not a very big team. They're going to get out-rebounded, and that's hard to win games when you're getting out-rebounded, especially when you're playing somebody as big as Camila Cordoso. She dominated the whole night. Good takeaways from the Portland Fire. Like I said, Bridget Carlton, she shot well. I wouldn't sleep on the Portland Fire. They're going to hit shots. They're going to stay in games. They definitely have the crowd and the fans behind them. So Portland Fire, good outing. I wouldn't be too worried about this loss. However, I don't think that they're going to be one of the top teams for a little bit. All right, now we're on to round 2 for a lot of these teams. We got the Seattle Storm beating the Connecticut Sun 89-82. As I mentioned earlier, horrible night for Sanaya Rivers. I think she needs to get out of the starting position. Put Anissa Morrow in there. I don't know why they moved her to the bench, but she still performed. She played even better. 17 points, 16 rebounds. They have to play Anissa Morrow as much as possible. Throw her in there with Brittany Griner. Let them go to work. They're going to out-rebound a lot of people. If Aaliyah Edwards wasn't that starting 5, I think they would be decent. They could have Anissa Morrow then move off the bench and have Sanaya Rivers also off the bench with Haley Van Lith and rookie Gianna Nepkins. Might be a little bit of a better team, but right now they fade late in games. Their bench production, it's okay, but it's just not good enough. I think you need Aaliyah Edwards to come back for the Sun to even compete. They just don't have the depth right now. Natasha Heidemann had a great game, bounce back game, 11 points. She produced, filled up the stat sheet. Flau'jae, she had 16 points. She's looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate. And seeing Flau'jae attack the way that she is not scared of anybody in the WNBA. I mean, she's shooting at will. No hesitation from her. She's getting downhill, getting to the basket. So that is definitely another name to watch. Lexi Brown, I will say she had a bounce back game. 17 points, 5 of 6 from 3. She was lights out off the bench. Jade Melvin still performed quite well. She had 15. She went 6 of 11 from the free throw line, 4 of 7 from field goal range. Very good night from her. I'm telling you, move Jade Melvin into the starting lineup for Horston, who only had 4 points again. Dom Malonga, she had a slow night, unfortunately, but that's not going to be a consistent thing from her. She still had 6 points and 7 rebounds. Zaya Cook, she didn't look as great tonight either, but once again, you can't perform every night. I think the Storm are going to be a middle-of-the-road team, but they definitely have potential to win games, and I like how they look starting out the season so far. The next game that I'll be going over is the New York Liberty against the Washington Mystics, where the Liberty won 98-93. This was a very fun game to watch. I mean, we got free basketball, went to OT. Johannes, once again, was unconscious from behind the arc. She went 6 of 13, 8 of 15 from the field, 25 points for her. That's back-to-back games where she's putting on big numbers. I really love what I'm seeing from Johannes. And Pauline Estier, she came out this game. I think she's a rookie. She had 18 points. Stewie had a pretty good game. She was a lot less efficient, unfortunately, in this game. She only went 9 of 23. Her and Jonquel Jones, we already know know what they're going to do night in and night out. I just wrote down my notes, like, I know that they're going to put up these numbers consistently. So while watching the game, the only real concern that I have for the Liberty was the amount of fouls that they racked up, especially towards the end of the game. I get that it went into OT, so foul numbers are going to be higher. Refs are blowing their whistle more. There were some ticky-tacky calls, but overall, like Hanju, she had 6. Astier, she had 5. Jonquel Jones fouled out with 6. Stewie had 5. Like, all their best players almost fouled out, so especially their big men. That didn't stop them from getting the win in OT, though. Johannes with a huge 3 late pushed them over the top. Liberty get that dub here. The Mystics, I did like how they played. Once again, their core 3 were very impressive. Iria Fan gave you 20 points and 12 rebounds. Shakira Austin was dominant again, 16 and 10 rebounds. Citron, she had 17. Cassandra Prosper, she played a lot better. 28 minutes, she had 8 points. I think overall they shook off those rookie jitters. Dugalich with 5. Lauren Betts, she scored back-to-back points in the paint. She ended up with 7. Rory Harmon, she had 3. Rory Harmon is playing a little bit too sloppy. She had 5 turnovers. She definitely got to clean that up. Otherwise, overall, Mystics look solid. They missed vital free throws down the stretch, unfortunately, and it cost them in overtime. Shakira Austin, she literally missed 2. Iria Fem missed 1, and Citron missed 1. The only one that she missed in the whole game. She missed down the stretch in OT, so that definitely cost them the game. They could have honestly walked out of here with a W, but Liberty got the win. Let's move on to the next game. The Aces got the bounce back game that they needed against the Sparks. They blew them out 105 to 78. Big game from the Aces starting 5. They were dominant and efficient the whole night. I mean, I could take you through all the numbers. Jackie Young with 20. Chelsea Gray with 16. Asia Wilson with 19. Melissa Smith 12. Stephanie Talbot with 8. Huge performance from them. All positive in the plus or minus category. Brianna Turner off the bench was stellar. Kennedy Carter unconscious. 22 points from her off the bench. 9 of 13. I mean, she looked great. Carter looks to be one of the best free agency signings this year so far, along with Gabby Williams and Onyeka Ogwumike, who is on the Los Angeles Sparks, and we'll be talking about her in a second. The Aces shot very efficiently from the field, a good 62%. It's going to win you games. Los Angeles Sparks had no spark, unfortunately. They got destroyed. Kelsey Plum, bright spot. She had 27 points. Ogwumike looked really good. She had 19 and 10 rebounds. Shot a couple threes. Those are really the only 2 bright spots in the team. Ariel Atkins, a new free agency signing for the Sparks, who they brought in for her defense. She ended up having 3 steals. That was good on her. Ray Burrell, horrible shooting night. Only 5 points in 28 minutes. Cameron Brink went out there and put up a donut. 8 minutes, no points. She didn't even attempt a shot. And Erica Wheeler with an even worse performance off the bench. 18 minutes, 2 points. She went 1 of 11 from the field. No bench production at all. Cost the Sparks big time in this game. And to wrap it all up, we have the Mercury against the Valkyries. The Valkyries won at home against the Mercury, 95 to 79. Right now, I would say the Valkyries are a top 3 team. After watching this game, it solidified it for me. Kayla Thornton went out there. Her presence was everywhere on the court. Anywhere she was open, knocking down shots. Gabby Williams, breakout game. Free agency W. I would say she's one of the best free agency signings so far. Huge impact right off the rip. She had 19 points. Kayla Thornton also had 19 points. Gabby Williams overall just stuffed the stat sheet. I mean, she had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block. She was plus 12 in the plus or minus. And then Veronica Burton, just ethical hoops. She had no turnovers on 12 assists, 13 points. Good little double-double for her. Love to see that. Starting 5 looking good for the Valkyries, especially once they get Tiffany Hayes back. She was injured in the first game, and they'll get Repair back eventually, but she's away from the team due to a pregnancy. The Valkyries just didn't even really turn the ball over, and the Mercury turned the ball over 17 times. Valkyries turned it over 9 times. Valkyries won the turnover battle. I don't know what was going on with the Mercury this game. I think they put a little bit too much energy into beating the Aces because they came out and they just did not shoot well. Dewana Bonner went 0 for 3 from three-point range. Kalia Copper went 4 of 15 from the field. The only really good spots in the team, once again, were Alyssa Thomas, who had 19 points, almost had a triple-double, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. However, she had 6 turnovers. Giovanna Nogic, she had 16 points, 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. She was lighting it up again, but she also turned the ball over 4 times. And Kalia Copper turned the ball over 3 times. That's literally 13 turnovers just between them 3. That's not going to be a nightly thing. Natasha Mack played well. I really do think that the Mercury are a solid team this year. Right now, I think the Valkyries are must-watch basketball. You had huge bench production once again from Leticia Ami here. She put up 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and she had 3 blocks, plus 33 in the plus minus. And Janelle Saloon, once again, looking stellar. She had 21 points, shot 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. You're going to win a lot of games if your bench is doing that. I hope you guys really enjoyed the breakdown. I know this is a longer video, but there are a lot of games to cover. Not all my videos are going to be that long. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.